Hey, welcome back to another episode of Outside In with your host Yanto
and Farah, your go-to source for honest conversations about relationships and marriage.
So if you are ready, let's go.
Masya Allah, it's just the two of us today, baby.
And of course, we are back after a week break.
Yeah, week
break. So Alhamdulillah, I think selamat Hari Raya kepada semua yang mendengar.
Masih
Alhamdulillah.
Raya ya.
Bila episod ni keluar dah masuk ke minggu kedua lah.
Minggu kedua, betul.
Minggu kedua untuk Raya. How's your Raya been so far, everybody? InsyaAllah semua okay. Alhamdulillah. I mean, of course kita punya Raya was on a Monday kan? Monday.
Betul.
Yeah, so the next day kita semua kerja and all that. Then baru dapat celebrate Hari Raya on the weekends lah. So Alhamdulillah, I think we are after 1 week break. Hopefully korang datang balik dengan kita lah. InsyaAllah. At the same time pun kalau korang belum share lagi kita punya episode, share kita punya social, please do so. Help us spread the word about Outside In kepada siapa-siapa yang mungkin memerlukan kita punya episode sebagai either inspiration ke ataupun entertainment and things like that, because kita harap untuk membesarkan lagi lah platform ini kepada semua masyarakat
Umat
Melayu
Islam,
semua masyarakat Melayu di Singapura, di Malaysia, di Indonesia,
di Brunei.
Jadi kita sama-sama boleh learn something together lah. Kita ni sebagai husband and wife, kita do this not just for ourselves, not just for us to curhat, but also to be close to all of you yang sedang mendengar. InsyaAllah.
I think moving towards May onwards, insyaAllah we will have kita punya signature series that you guys know, ada guests and things like that, but we will also do a lot more of this kind of setting lah, husband and wife, and like for today pula kita plan nak baca conversation cards.
Yes.
Conversation cards. Yes. But before that, okay, so now kita dah Hari Raya kan, dah tak ada zakat dah. But we still have the Sadaqah Jar from Muhammadiyah. You guys can collect your Sadaqah Jars and you can donate as little as $1 a day.
Yes.
And then you can help our community lah in your own ways, insyaAllah. Kalau you dah penuhkan di Sadaqah Jar, you can hantar to Muhammadiyah punya office and
ataupun boleh call dorang for them to come and collect lah. So how do we get this Sadaqah Jar? Okay, of course this is dia macam ibarat tabung tau.
Betul, tabung.
So tabung, so kita boleh instill this habit of saving untuk sedekah.
Betul.
Then you can also get it through boleh call mereka di Muhammadiyah di 6242-7388 ataupun muhammadiyah.org.sg/wahdah. Okay, so this jar macam-macam akan dibuat lah. So especially macam kat atas ni, kalau you ada anak-anak, you boleh suruh anak-anak you semua decorate, then you can be part of their sedekah wall. So itulah yang kita nak sampaikan. So on to the main topic for today. Kita like we mentioned, we are going to play conversation cards. So we as husband and wife, we're gonna ask each other lah. Kita ada a deck of cards over here, and we're gonna pick them at random. Lepas tu we will play lah. And you guys also boleh play along if you you feel like you want to spice up a little bit. Spice up macam lah apa. More of making kadang-kadang kita sebagai husband and wife, kita bekerja, then kita macam like kadang-kadang kita only talk about our daily lives, about how's your work, makan ke belum, and things like that. Then sometimes kita macam tak tahu apa nak berbual dengan kita punya partner.
Betul.
Pasal we experience that as husband and wife juga.
Betul.
And I feel that walaupun kita ni baru this year tahun ke-5 kita kahwin as husband and wife kan, I think banyak orang yang dah kahwin lagi lama and things like that. So sometimes you feel like nak buat apa hari ni you can always delve into this kind of activities.
Betul.
Which is to reconnect lah, I feel. Pasal kalau kita kalau dah lama kahwin things like that, kadang-kadang kita lupa kita ni harus connect on a daily basis. So this is one of the ways we can do. Of course this is not sponsored. This is something that we got ourselves to help us reconnect with each other at the same time. Dan kita share dengan korang juga, maybe mana tahu korang pun nak juga have this kind of things.
Betul.
It's an activity untuk korang try as husband and wife lah.
Yes, okay. So without further ado, let's pick one card, okay? You pick one card, I pick one card, and then we take turns to ask each other. Ready?
You pick first lah.
Okay, you pick one also.
Pick one, okay.
Okay, I pick first lah.
Oh, jojot.
Okay, bismillah. The question is, are you hypersensitive to your partner's complaints?
Okay, complaints.
Are you peka ke tidak dengan I punya complaints? Or do you feel like it's just macam bising ada ni, nagging lah, or are you really macam attentive when I complain something tu? Do you think macam this is really bothering her ataupun macam sing ada ni gitu.
Right.
Well, lagu tu ni
pasal dia punya soalan dia boleh go towards shooting myself in the foot. Ataupun depending on the situation lah.
Okay, faham.
Okay, so personally I feel that do I accept your complaints? So far alhamdulillah you jarang complain lah. Mungkin pasal kita punya hidup ni kita used to being very accommodative.
Betul kan? I will agree.
Yeah. And then kita selalu terima seadanya.
Betul, okay. Tengok tu dia macam muka dia macam gitu.
I takut salah cakap.
Okay, let me give my point of view, okay? So I think it's normal for husband and wife to complain to each other. Tapi one thing that I realise about us is that, for example, I banyak complain pasal my mata. For example, even during recordings, if you guys really look at some of our episodes, I will be very affected by my eye. You will see macam I pegang tissue and then I will keep dabbing my eyes. It's because I'm having issues lah, and it has been going on for like a year plus.
More than 2 years ah.
Yeah, almost 2 years, and it has gotten better, but sometimes it flare up, and we thought we found a solution. We thought it was because the material of my glasses, and we changed my glasses and it improved lah, alhamdulillah. Tapi masih kadang-kadang it waters up and things like that. So I complain a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel macam this thing specifically that I complain so much that macam you dah tak tahu apa nak cakap. Betul tak?
Betul.
Kan?
I mean,
macam my eye, then you macam what can I do?
I think kadang-kadang to a point bila baru-baru kan, when we first, especially bila kita baru kahwin, and then I see certain things and you macam like, for example, we talk about your eye, you macam mata I gini-gini, then I as a husband I macam what can I do? I tengok mata dia, I sampai like Google what is the problem, things like that. After a while it becomes like apa nama dia macam normal frequency gitu. Okay. Pasal this for example, this complaint per se, bila you baru start complaining about your eye and things like that, this is something new to me. But as it goes on, as lama kelamahan ni, I macam dengar macam it's just another complaint. It's just another normal word macam like how are you?
Right.
That I can't expect it to happen.
You take it like that?
No, example.
Okay.
So to point dia macam, okay, mata you dah macam gini, tapi I nak buat apa? I dah hantar you pergi doktor, I dah tukar we change your spectacles, and then apa lagi kita nak buat? As a husband, I can show my concern, but each time I show my concern, there's nothing else you can do but dab your eyes with your tissue. So apa lagi I boleh buat as a husband?
Faham.
So in my defense, I bukannya tak kisah, because I know that there's nothing else that I can do on my end to help ease your mata punya situation. But at the same time, as a wife pula, when I do this kind of reaction, do you feel that I don't care?
It's not that I feel like you don't care. I kind of share the same sentiment. Macam I complain just to get it off my chest, but I know that macam there's not much that you can do. But I would feel like sometimes occasionally you macam manja-manja kat I a bit. Allah kesiannya sayang I. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As a wife lah, that's just my macam sensitive mode talking. Sometimes I do feel like that. But most of the time I'm like just complaining because it's annoying me lah. It's annoying me. It's affecting my daily life sometimes. So yeah. But I feel like you have those kind of situations as well where you complain about certain things that maybe you have complained about before. And macam my reaction macam
Ada. Apa I complain lah?
I can't remember. Maybe
Saya jarang complain apa.
Ya ke?
Most pun I complain pasal kerja, pasal banyak case ke apa ke, you know, and then I get sick and tired of the work, things like that. But other than that, I jarang complain. I tend to keep things to myself lah kan.
You do.
Yeah.
You keep.
But at the same time pun, okay lah, maybe in terms of like buat kerja rumah, or maybe entah, I don't know.
You complain about certain things very I wouldn't use the word trivial, but macam macam it's like maybe macam yang sakit perut. You know, sometimes you macam like that with your partner.
Okay.
Just you do things that macam kalau you tak bilang pun actually okay je.
But you just want to share.
You just tell. I sakit perut, I want poop. Then go poop you know, that kind of thing. But sometimes
it becomes a normal conversation kan?
It becomes a normal conversation. Tapi sometimes I think sometimes it will be nice if macam we reciprocate lah. Macam the question asked tadi, are you hypersensitive of your partner's complaint? Maybe sometimes kita macam instead of not doing anything at all or not responding at all, maybe we can do a little bit something different. Maybe kalau I cakap, my eye pain, cakap you macam I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once in a while buat gitu lah.
Once in a while.
Bukan selalu lah. Selalu nanti dah jadi macam
kalau selalu sangat pun nanti macam sudahlah.
Faham. I mean at the same time pun I feel that kalau kita ni sebagai husband and wife, kita kena tengok situation jugalah. Pasal kalau it keeps happening, kalau okay for example you put in the same scenario, mata you beraya selalu, habis you selalu yearn for that attention from me, lama kelamaan nanti jadi macam it probably can rasa macam burden gitu
for you,
for me.
Okay, faham.
Pasal macam you kind of you know, I don't know whether it's justifiable for me to say that, because like I said, I do not know what else I can do but to manjakan you, to macam like tumpang kesian.
Yeah.
Like, I wish your eyes get better. Oh look, gitu.
I'm just saying once in a while. Because we are in a marriage, going to be together for the rest of our life, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So I'm not asking for every time. I pun complain about my eye quite a bit, so I'm not expecting it every time. Like, I'm just saying, you know, just be a bit more attentive, and I will also be a bit more attentive to your complaints or to your discomfort.
Right.
Maybe macam I feel macam for example you tumpah barang ke apa, like sometimes I just macam tengok, alright.
Yeah.
But sometimes I will macam quickly go and take the tissue ke apa, go and help you. It's those little things that show your partner that you care, and a little goes a long way, right?
Yeah. Okay, maybe we go deeper a bit lah.
Okay.
About you know, hypersensitivity towards complaints or macam like something that you want to do different.
Okay.
For example, we talk about rumah. Pasal every husband and wife akan ada rumah.
Betul.
And I feel that I want to talk about something like for example, membersihkan dapur or basically meja. Okay. So kalau for example you approach, okay, we talk about approach lah. Kalau dapur tu kotor, lepas kita masak, and then kita selalu asyik kena macam berserak lah.
You complain about that a lot, yeah?
Yes. But then you see your partner not doing anything. So am I going to be reactive to you not doing anything, or should I be like react to that in, I don't know how you react to that. You understand where I'm coming from? For example, okay, pergi tu scenario lah.
Okay.
Dapur dia kotor.
Okay.
Berserak. You tak buat apa-apa.
Okay.
You buat bodoh. And then I say, dapur berserak. And then you, berserak.
Right.
And then it stops there.
Okay.
And then the thing is, number one, why is the dapur berserak? Ataupun why is the dapur kotor? Probably because I masak.
Okay.
So the agreement between us two,
yes,
I masak, you apa?
Bersihkan.
Tapi kenapa masih kotor?
Right.
For example.
Ni bukan example, cakap aje ni. Cakap aje jangan complain pasal I.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just giving a scenario because that rarely happens. It happens once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, but each time it happens, I don't complain.
No, you don't complain.
I just say kadang-kadang lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when that happens, should I react negatively towards you? Or should I, like, what is the expected reaction of me as a husband towards you, who said that you will clean after me when I do the cooking?
Okay, the thing is, right, I would rather you be angry than you simpan.
Okay.
So even if you were to macam, ayah takkan I cakap you tak, habis I cakap je you tak buat apa-apa. Then I will be like, oh sorry, then I will do it. Okay. Instead of you simpan 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road, you masih simpan. That is not healthy, what?
Yeah.
You should be able to live with me in the same house and speak your mind.
Yep. That's true.
So yeah, kalau and sometimes we are complacent, you know, when we apa ni, in a marriage, the longer it is, the more complacent.
I think
sometimes we just need to remind each other and like get mad at each other for to remind each other lah. So yeah, inshallah. Inshallah, the kitchen will be speak and span after this.
I mean, getting to the point of, you know, speaking your mind with each other. I always believe that kadang-kadang as a husband, I macam like kalau I cakap nanti you kata I beli you punya actions ke apa ke, you know. But at the same time pun, we as husband and wife, then not just me lah, but generally as a couple, kita akan kadang-kadang kita simpan ni nak jaga perasaan kita punya partner. Right. But at the same time pun, kalau let's say it is getting too much for you to handle, then it's best if you sit down and then you macam sayang, I really think we need to talk about something.
Yeah.
I start off with that first.
Can.
Yeah, and then we talk about, okay, you know what? Something in the house is not right. For example, we talk about the kitchen example. Kalau dapur ni, walaupun you know kita jarang masak ke apa, tapi macam bersirak. Things like that. So what can we do as a couple? So it really comes to a point of that communication lah, the base of communication. You tegur isteri you atau you tegur suami you, niat dia apa? Niat dia tu untuk kita beli dia punya actions or inaction, ataupun kita nak make the situation a better situation.
Yeah, and also macam I feel macam if you macam the first few times it happens and then you won't feel as much resentment and anger as opposed to you simpan. Yeah. For example, the first few times it happens, you can easily say in a jokingly manner. Macam, I dah masak you. Kata nak bersihkan. And then it will be just like okay lah, bersihkan. But versus, you simpan. And then you become very angry. Macam, kata, alamak dia ni. Alamak aku masak, dah penat. Cakap nak bersihkan, tak bersihkan. Then you simpan. You will become angry and resentful.
Yeah.
So the next time it happens, you akan possibility to burst is there.
Yeah. So and then when the burst happens, the partner macam asal tiba-tiba marah.
Yeah.
Which is alhamdulillah kita tak sampai that tahap lah. Alhamdulillah. But we know of people yang macam gitu, dia simpan nanti dia complain kat kawan dia, lepas tu kawan dia cakap alah gini. Lepas tu bila kawan dia macam kau patut marah. Terus tiba-tiba when the same incident happens, dia teringat kawan dia punya kata-kata, marah. Terus keluar. Tiba-tiba selalunya okey je. Dia partner macam selalunya okey je, tak marah. Kenapa sekarang you macam marah macam gini?
Yeah.
Then it becomes a whole an argument that is could have been avoided from the start.
Betul.
Yeah. So communication lah, converse. Itulah dalam cerita dia.
Itu dia. Okay. Wow, we talk about this for quite a bit also, but hopefully it's relatable to you guys out there, especially married couples. Certain things in your marriage, macam inilah. It macam not one situation fits everybody. Semua lain-lain, but mesti ada this kind of situation. So I think it's best to just communicate lah. Tell your partner what you prefer, what you want, what you need. Yeah. So you don't harbor any negative feelings. Yeah. Right. Okay.
My turn.
Yeah.
Okay. So this question is: ask your partner, what can I say or do when I apologize that will make your heart melt and instantly forgive me?
Oh. So kirakan bila I marah, what can you say or do to make me melt? Oh, okay.
And instantly forgive. The keyword instantly forgive.
Instantly forgive. So you buat salah?
I buat salah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean of course tengok dia punya kesalahan dia apalah. Kalau kesalahan dia besar, memang tak boleh just puppy eyes ke apa.
I think for me, if you ask me this question maybe 5 years ago and now, the answer will be different.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what would be the answer 5 years ago?
5 years ago, I would say no. I think my answer will be the same, but my response will be different. Okay, I will explain.
Okay.
5 years ago, I would say just manjakan I.
Okay.
Just hug me, kiss me, say you love me, manjakan I. Full stop.
Kalau I salah.
Kalau you salah.
You tak biar awak hidup ke? You dah salah, tak berpeluk I.
No, I'm really the kind of person that if you are soft with me, I will mellow down a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, but the only difference is that back then, it will take me maybe 3 to 7 working days. I will be like, dah buat salah, padam muka, ambil kak. I will marinate the situation, make you feel bad and things like that.
Which is true.
It happened before.
Which is true. Bila, baru-baru kahwin atau baru-baru kenal, I buat salah ke apa. it was normal for you to harbor those thoughts and feelings of I tak nak maafkan dia yet.
Yes, I kind of like want to teach him a lesson lah kirakan my fikiran that time, but like,
and then for that 3 to 7 working days I akan kat tepi macam like what can I do walaupun dia kata manja-manja, then I will manja-manja, I will be like sayang nak gini-gini, nak makan, nak makan apa, I masakkan. Itu je. Nanti kadang-kadang muka dia muram gitu, and then I know that what can I do, but yalah, I have to keep doing that for 3 to 7 days. Baru dia macam like, okay, jom kita berbual.
Yeah, so that was how I was 5 years ago, 3 years ago. But now I feel like I'm different. Now I'm at a point where we are married, right? And as much as we fight sometimes, I don't want it to berpanjangan. And I feel like there is no reason that I should teach you a lesson.
Kita bukan budak-budak.
Yeah. Because exactly that, kita bukan budak-budak, and I don't need to do that. You are mature enough, and I've understood that about you, that you are mature enough to know when you are wrong, and you are very genuine bila you apologize.
Okay.
So taking that into consideration, and also I myself mature.
Alhamdulillah.
Along the way, alhamdulillah. So so now if you do salah or macam you raise your voice at me ke apa, then you terus manja, then I'll be like, okay.
So
like I will melt lah.
So you're melting apa yang I boleh buat. Kalau let's say now to mental note for myself, kalau buat salah ke apa, you termarah ke apa, then the only thing I need to do is just macam sorry sayang, gitu
Ya.
Senangnya alhamdulillah.
Macam manja on like, you know my love language.
Which is, yes, baru nak cakap pasal tu, which is like your love language, which is words of affirmation, intimacy. That is your love language. So it's very synonymous dengan kita punya apology jugalah.
Betul.
Apa yang I boleh buat untuk make you go straight to your heart, macam gitu.
Betul. And you can also very easily tell when I am upset or when I'm angry. Is that my love language macam stop. Like usually I'll be manja, usually I will like hug you, kiss you, and like manja-manja, berbual manja-manja with you. But when I'm upset or when I'm angry, that will all stop.
Does it apply to me also?
Yeah. Did you realize that? Yeah. So if you feel like macam macam dah tadi like literally 15 minutes ago, like dia manja-manja dengan aku then tiba-tiba something happened, but I don't know what happened, I need to figure it out. But suddenly dia dah stop. Then you must have said or did something that upset me lah. Gitu.
And it's more obvious with me also, right? I think for me also, I'm very like that also lah.
Correct.
And easy for you to pick out when I'm not happy about something. So it is very essential untuk kita faham kita punya partners in that essence lah. Pasal kalau kita tak kenal kita punya if you don't know kita punya partners enough, you are not able to detect bila diorang tengah unhappy, bila diorang tengah sedih, marah ke apa. And that tendency for me is I simpan I punya emotions a lot. And as much as I always voice out to Farah, personally also I know deep in me that I keep my negative emotions inside a bit too much sometimes. But because of my body, apa nama dia? My
reaction.
Body what is that word
Body
language. My body language is a bit off. You can tell that I am unhappy about something. What is it? Dia akan cerita. But I know at that point in time, you tahu I punya reaction, I punya body language macam tak kena gitu.
Yes.
So that's when you realise that there's something that needs to be done.
Betul. So speaking of, what is yours? What is it that kalau I buat salah, then I do this to make it up, then you will chide me. What
Personally,
is it?
I think it goes to my love language juga lah. Acts of service.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like for example, just this morning, I don't know what went wrong ke apa, but usually I'm the one that always takes the parcel outside.
Yeah.
Somehow ada you terus keluar, you ambil parcel. That walaupun that was probably unintentional, but that makes me feel you ambilkan I parcel I. That makes me feel macam that's simple acts of service.
Okay.
Then kadang-kadang like for example, if I'm unhappy, maybe I'm not unhappy towards you. I'm unhappy about certain situations. But you realise that I tengah negative, and then you terus macam kasih I chocolate, kasih I gula-gula, ataupun from our candy snack at the side. that makes me feel elevated.
Faham.
Even just a while, even though you're not the issue, but you sense my reaction tengah rabak, you give me something like that. And then acts of service. And then or sometimes you just like macam peluk I, ataupun you berbual dengan manja-manja punya cara, which makes me feel very gitu.
Okay, faham.
So that in itself shows how much you know me. And then walaupun intentional ke tidak, naturally that's how you're going to react when my body language is towards the negative side. And I feel that that is part of how we communicate better as a husband and wife couple over the past few years. That's how we developed. Because to talk about 5 years ago bila kita baru kahwin, this was not possible. Yeah, and kita banyak fahaman.
Betul.
Especially in terms of kita punya reaction. Kita react certain way, you don't like the reaction, you react a certain way, dah bercanggah. And that happened quite frequently bila kita, especially during our first 2 years of our marriage.
Betul.
Kan? Alhamdulillah, it became a learning lesson for us lah. And I hope it becomes a learning lesson for everyone yang tengah mendengar ni, whether as a wife you tengah dengar cerita ni, you tengah dengar kita punya experience, and then you feel that this is something that me and my husband going through. Why I addressing the wives? Because 3/4 of our listeners are all females lah kan. Yeah, so you rasa macam this is something that happens frequently between me and my husband. Mungkin that is where you realise that maybe I haven't picked up the negative energy from him yet, ataupun you haven't realised what is the negative reaction to his body language. Then maybe it's time kita change kita punya mindset. Kita tukar kita punya fikiran, what can we do to make things better for our partners and ourselves. Because inevitably kita bila kita buat something for our partners out of love, dia punya niat dia baik, then it will help mend that relationship. No matter how far apart you may be, it gets you closer. InsyaAllah. Yeah.
I think this might sound very corny, okay? Might sound very cliche, but truly, genuinely, you, my husband, you are teaching me how to love.
Oh.
Yes, truly.
Teach me how to love.
So crazy. But it's true because macam mana cakap I wouldn't attribute this to my childhood trauma or whatever, or like whatever happened in the past, but it's worth mentioning lah, just for understanding punya sake. It's because I'm the youngest, right?
Yeah.
I selalu dimanjakan.
Yeah.
So all I know is people doing things for me, people speaking for me, people accommodating to me, my sisters, my mom, my father, like a lot of people, right? So I grew up not knowing just how to receive, but I don't know how to give. Right. But now in a marriage, as we go along, I am understanding a lot more and more that your love language is acts of service. Like you appreciate acts of service, right? And so it is very challenging for me sometimes to actually get out of my comfort zone of being the one giving, being the one accommodating. Because even you, my husband, like you have been so accommodating to me. Right? You always give in to what I want. So it's just a reflection lah of mine that macam I'm slowly understanding. It takes me, insyaAllah, it will become better. But I'm taking steps to better, to improve lah as a wife.
Yes.
As a wife.
Which is very essential lah in terms of every marriage, because we are only able to improve ourselves kalau kita nak. Kalau kita just be complacent, like what we mentioned earlier on tadi, kalau kita complacent, kita tak fikir kita ni masalah ke, kita ni the perfect human being pe, tu dah jadi masalah yang terbesar lah. Sebagai seorang manusia di dunia ni, kita selalu kena ingat we are not perfect. We are not perfect, we have a lot of flaws, and it's always bagus kalau kita ni kita distracted dengan Eddie.
Eddie tengah main
dengan benda apa tu. So as a human being, kita, when we want to become a better version of ourselves, demi memperbaiki diri sendiri, whether be it through knowledge ke, be it through adab ke, as long as we have this niat yang baik, insyaAllah kita punya relationship pun naturally becomes better. Because kalau kita ni fikir ni kita dah perfect, then you don't know what is there that is going to be wrong when it comes to having problems in a relationship. Yeah, so
Itulah.
put that in your top of your mind lah. Kita ni selalunya harus menjadi seorang yang selalu nak memperbaiki diri at all
Betul.
times. Okay, maybe we go for one more card.
One more card.
Yeah.
You want to choose or I
You
choose?
choose.
I choose. Ni apa Let me see. Okay. Okay. What are some emotions that you are not comfortable expressing and why?
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, emotions that I'm not comfortable.
You tengah berbual F language. Okay.
Emotions that I'm not comfortable in expressing and why.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, like I mentioned earlier on, susah untuk I express anger and express disappointment.
Okay.
Naturally for me, because I feel like it's something that I am not used to receiving on myself. But yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if let's say for example we talk about schooling days.
Okay.
Kalau kita ni buat benda yang salah in terms of our pelajaran, in terms of kita punya CCA ke apa, I cannot really, it's not about not being able to receive criticism, but not being able to receive disappointment.
Is it because you've always gotten what you wanted? Or
not necessarily.
Okay.
But every time I get people, orang yang kasih yang kata-kata macam disappointment ke, macam I'm very disappointed in you, gini, I feel like shit.
Oh, faham.
Yeah, and I don't like that feeling. So instead of me expressing that feeling, I live with that discomfort.
Okay, because you don't want to hurt the person that you are disappointed in.
Yeah.
Wow. This is the type of person that Yanto is, guys.
Yeah. So I don't like to tell people that I'm disappointed. For example, we talk about between us as husband and wife. So let's say you do something that upsets me. I don't go to you and say I don't like that.
Yeah.
Have I ever gone up to you and say that? Tak pernah kan?
Tak pernah.
I don't do that. Instead I just correct whatever that is wrong in my eyes by myself, and then you pick it up after that.
Yeah.
Can naturally that's how we are as a husband and wife.
Yeah.
That's me. I don't like to show disappointment, and I don't like to tell somebody that I am disappointed in that person. I like to tell them that I'm proud of them instead. So kalau yang benda-benda negatif ni, I susah nak express.
Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to understand that.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, because lah. And I don't think cakap it wasn't like a big issue in our first years of marriage. I wouldn't say it's a big issue now either, but I'm starting to see how it affects our marriage lah.
Really?
Easy to say because if I were to be very honest with myself, I want you to speak your mind. But at the same time,
it's very hard for me to do so.
It's very hard for you to do so, and also I'm not sure how I will receive it.
Right.
Because so in that sense, macam until we actually reach that point, we cannot tackle this issue.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it needs to happen, and I need to learn how to respond accordingly, and then we slowly macam, slowly find
go
a way
through the
together.
solution. Okay.
Macam gitu. But I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say macam cakap. It's not that. I don't know.
It's
how
not
to say.
something that is not attainable, is it? Ataupun
no, I would say we are not at a tipping point or anything like that.
This is just something that we have yet to reach lah.
Correct.
Basically, I mean, of course, orang kata, korang baru kahwin 5 tahun, still new in the marriage, which is true in a sense. Masih baru, masih nak mengenali lagi dalam dengan each other and things like that. And this is something yang, because Alhamdulillah kita punya marriage ni, dia punya cabaran dia so and so lah. You all know it's our cabaran. So mungkin Allah mempermudahkan kita punya hubungan ni dengan benda yang lain. For example, this kind of issues. Because this kind of issues hasn't really come up to be a very big stumbling block for kita punya relationship. Because when that kind of things happen, if let's say I do feel disappointed in certain things that you do ke apa, it's not a big issue for me.
Is it truly? Genuinely?
Yeah, because I feel that so far whatever that has been happening dalam kita punya relationship, I am able to accept the flaws, for example. Yeah, because this is naturally for me dalam fikiran I is kita ni semua manusia yang tak sempurna. Ada aja benda yang akan buat kita rasa certain way, which you cannot perfect it no matter what you do and things like that. We improve, yes, but will it be able to ease ataupun make us feel like kita ni boleh terima ataupun fully accept like, oh, this is perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. Like we can only terima. So I kind of grew to become accustomed to whatever that is happening, because ini adalah hakikatnya. So but so that means if I were to put it in percentage, how much does it affect me if let's say I am disappointed? Maybe just 10-15%. And then I get over it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, kucing ni jangan jatuh kamera sudah.
Betul lah. Okay, faham.
Yourself lah, what is your emotion?
Okay, let's refresh the question. What are some emotions that you are not comfortable expressing, and why? Comfortable.
I know for sure you're very comfortable in expressing your love, because that's how we are.
That's true.
That's very comfortable.
Emotions that you're not comfortable expressing. Let me see. Not comfortable expressing. I think one thing that comes to mind is like when you are angry. I don't know. Then you do certain things. Macam I think similar kot.
Similar.
It's like if I'm upset, sometimes I don't know how to speak to you about it.
Yeah.
You want me to give example? Is it?
No need lah.
Yeah. For example, macam you buat something and then
don't want to give example and then you for example.
Okay, never mind.
But I mean, for you just make up a hypothetical situation lah. Just for me also to learn as well about your discomfort.
Okay. Okay, I will just give a scenario that is not specific lah.
Okay.
For example, for me this is nothing. For me is like tak apalah. Tak apa. It's okay. It's generally tak apa. But for you it's like no. Like no, really cannot. Then I like don't understand. Like then you get angry about it.
Okay.
You get so angsty. Then you do certain things that upset me.
Okay.
Yeah. So then
at this point in time, I'm trying to figure out what is it. What is it? Maybe we talk about this after recording. Apakah itu?
But I think if you want to understand, I can give one example.
Okay. Yeah.
You remember that one time? We were trying to clean outside.
That was so long ago.
Yeah, so long ago, yeah.
Okay.
And then
the cabinet ada pecah.
So basically what happened is we were tidying up outside lah. So basically kat luar dulu ada grass patch, and then we have IKEA benches, and then we have our shoe cupboard. Right. So kita nak buang. Actually kita tak nak buang pun. I didn't want to throw it anyway, but for some reason we had to clear out that space.
Yeah.
And then our cupboard is very heavy.
Yeah.
So we were trying to move it to remove the carpet grass, right? And then one thing that I realized about Yan is that heavy things seem to anger him a lot. Or maybe it's the fact that I'm not fit enough to help him move certain heavy stuff. So then he will get very angry. He get angry to the point that that cupboard dulu ada kaki tau. But because he's so angry, he and then he break the thing. Then I'm like, what the heck? I wasn't angry. I was like trying to calm you down until you broke the leg. Then I'm like, what the heck? Then I got upset. And then we were both just macam, what? Like, just angry. Okay. You angry at I don't know what, and I am angry at you. So yeah, that is usually what happened.
Wow, okay. Oh, that is so long ago, mashallah. Okay.
So what made you angry? Is it because I wasn't helped? Like no, I don't know. Maybe maybe.
I mean, benda tu berat gila. The cabinet is berat gila. So yeah, my fetch dengan Eddie.
Yeah.
Benda tu berat gila, and it's very hard for me to carry it myself. And then at the same time, I'm struggling with the fact that you also pun susah nak angkat benda tu. Tak ada orang lain akan membantu kita. And we want to get it done.
Yeah.
You know, and then like I don't know, probably in my head was like, buang je lah benda ni. Beli baru sudah. You know, that kind of mindset. And then I reacted. as such lah.
Yeah.
And because bila kadang-kadang angkat benda berat ni, dia sakit.
Faham.
Sakit kerana terlanggar. Macam hari tu kita angkat kabinet kat dalam bilik tu, I terlanggar.
Right.
Yeah, and then pain makes me so upset.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's it. Pain makes him very, very angry. And also very recently, this one is nothing much. This one, very recently we wanted to remove a console, right? Like a TV console. So I'm already macam at the back of my mind like, okay, I better do a good job helping him get this thing out of the house. If not, he will get angry and I don't know what will happen. So I was like, okay, trying to be helpful, you know. So thankfully that went well lah. Right? I would say yeah.
Yeah, because it was more structured. And then walaupun yes, I cakap jangan you move juga, I langgar.
Right.
Which is normal. Pasal benda tu berat gila. And then there is but generally that's me lah.
Pain just makes
me upset.
So then this is something that, you know, I have accepted, but sometimes it makes me macam, what? Why are you so angry? You know,
but then what okay, now that we're talking about that kan, because you said you accepted me for that kind of reaction, there's nothing much that, okay, what can I do to improve that as a person or as your husband so that you don't feel this way?
Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. It's just that I cannot possibly ask you to, bila you get hurt tu, you macam sedapnya. It doesn't make sense, right? So there's nothing much.
It's a normal reaction.
Can change. Yeah. It's just how you process things. Like like for me, when I feel pain, I don't feel angry. I feel
gatal
or like other emotions lah.
Gatal as in gatal garuk-garuk, gatal bukan gatal yang jangan salah sangka.
Sakit gitu. But yeah, so it's just how you respond lah. Okay. So for me as a wife, bit by bit, I'm starting to understand that's how certain things make you react a certain way. So I just have to behave accordingly lah. But it's just that sometimes benda tu
sakit hati lah.
Sakit hati lah.
So that's what is the question lah kan? Apa soalannya tadi?
So emotions that you are not comfortable expressing and why.
Right.
So if you realize that one, certain things when you but do you realize that you are angry in that moment?
Yeah. I know I'm angry.
Then how do you cool down?
Okay, now we talk about me as a person. Remember how you met me last time when we first baru kenal and I share with you that I seorang yang baran kan?
Baran.
That is my actual self.
Faham.
That is me. Kalau benda sikit je I memberontak.
Okay, faham.
That's me as a person.
Okay.
But generally, after getting to know you, after knowing that this is not something that is very healthy in memberontaking every single time, naturally I learn how to calm myself down.
How do you calm yourself down?
So for example, we talk about the incident of pain makes me angry.
Yeah, pain.
Okay. So pain fades away, but the anger stays.
Oh.
Okay. Pain, you will heal from the pain kan. Pain dia macam sakit.
Yeah.
But I will marah for a while. Naturally for me, I will marah for a while.
Okay.
But what makes me feel better and calm myself down, for me lah, what works is that we did it together. For example, if it's like for that incident, we did it together. We got the job done. This is just a byproduct of the incident. And then I focus on getting the job done. I focus on the achievement that we made together on top of covering the pain lah, for example. Yeah. So that's how you realize that sometimes kadang I marah, but very fast I nak makan apa?
Yeah.
Kan? Very
fast. Sometimes it throws me in a loop macam okay. Like okay.
Yeah, because I don't like I said, I don't like to feel disappointed. I don't like to express disappointment. At the same time also, I realize I don't like to show my anger towards my wife. I don't like to show my anger towards you because when I do that, it makes me feel like I am not being a good husband in a sense. Towards you, because kalau kita salah cakap ke salah tertegur ke, it becomes very negative. And then kalau kita salah with that kind of negative reaction, negative emotions, and kita just layankan, then nanti the whole conversation will become very, very heated. And we don't like that. We don't want that in our daily conversations kan.
But is there anything that I can do as a wife to make you feel better after you kena sakit tu then you marah?
Same thing like you. Manja-manja kan.
Oh really?
Yeah, because to me as much as possible pun I like to be manja-manja.
Okay.
Yeah, because kalau kita salah, I mean bedek kata lah, laki mana tak suka dimanjakan.
Faham.
Yeah.
But do you know, okay, now that I know that when that happens, you want me to manja you kan. Like, okay, maybe if I'm getting it right, I'll be like, aduh, alah kesiannya.
Tak payah gitu.
Habis macam mana?
Macam, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Uh-uh.
So because at that point in time when you do that, you show concern towards me. Kalau you just kalau for example like reaction kalau I and then you just like you just buat bodoh je. You just want to continue carrying it. Dah tahu tak boleh gerak, ada tangan dalam kesakitan, you buat bodoh je. Then makin I macam tengah sakit ni. Makin I will be reacting to anger. But then naturally I learn how to control my emotions. But in that moment, if that happens and then you macam, are you okay? Are you okay? You stop everything. You come to me and like, are you okay? Mana sakit? Then me as a man, ego sikit kan, sikit je. Then I'm like, let's go.
I see.
That is what's gonna make me feel better in that moment lah, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, generally.
Okay, so honestly, so far lah, before I knew of this information, right? How do you think I feel when that happens?
When I'm in pain ke apa ke?
When you are angry, like macam tiba.
This is what you always do when I'm in that that mode. You literally just like, you okay? You just look at me. For example, this is you. For example, yang tengah tengok video ni, you are me Then this is Farah and you see me tengah angry and then I'm just like, I just look at you, no reaction, nothing. Yeah, because she's afraid. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are afraid of addressing me being angry.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly the question lah. Because okay, maybe I will explain a bit why I react like that, right? Because I think prior to us having this conversation, I don't understand why you need to get angry.
Okay.
Because for me, when I get hurt, I will be it's not like so I'm like apa ni? Like, I don't get it, I don't understand. So that's why it's like a bit of confusion. If you see my face properly, it's like a bit of confusion, a bit of macam anger also. Like, why are you getting angry? Like, we are just, I'm trying to help, and so.
Yeah, but that is just how I react to certain things.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But now you understand.
So now I will be more attentive. I would say like, Ayang, are you okay, Ayang? Stop everything.
Macam, remember that time I terpotong jari I?
Yes.
Terpotong. But that one because it was, then I dah terpotong, I just
yeah.
Then you show what? Are you okay? You okay?
Yeah, that one I very scared. I scared you cut yourself. What?
But then I wasn't angry. Yeah. Because you macam you terus macam like concern. Kalau you were to do that when I langgar benda cupboard tu, I probably won't have been reacting so badly after that.
But tapi kalau if you cut yourself, then I still macam that one is something wrong already with me.
Kan?
Because you hurt yourself.
Sama apa I hurt myself kau.
Okay, I understand.
What does mean to you? Sakit je. Sama juga sakit. But yeah, pain is temporary. Effects are forever.
Okay, now I know I need to do lah.
Yeah, I mean, we learn about each other every day. So this is something that we picked up in this episode. Oh, very long we never do this.
Yeah.
Kan, I think it's very we started out outside in like that.
Honestly, I feel like if it wasn't for the conversation cards, the conversation wouldn't turn out this productive, I would say.
Deep.
Yeah, it's deep. It's like I feel like
you learned something about me today.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I learned something about you also.
Yes.
Yeah, so if I were to get angry, I would just like, I'm angry. React to me.
Now I'll be like, are you okay? Where pain where?
Of course, make it out of goodwill lah.
Yeah.
Dengan niat yang baik lah. Jangan pasal apa, it becomes like a script.
Yeah, okay.
Kalau jadi, if you're not genuine with your reaction,
sincere
then of course,
sincere.
Sincerity, that makes a lot of difference juga lah. InsyaAllah. Okay?
Wow. Guys, I feel like this conversation card works.
Yeah,
we
it
understand better lah. So you guys, if you guys wanna do this, the same questions probably, with your own spouses, you can. I mean,
you can always find it online lah.
Yeah,
a lot of different sellers selling this kind of conversation cards. A lot of different companies. I mean, of course, mana tahu kita boleh come up with one of our own.
Oh, insyaAllah, if you guys are interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, try it with your spouse, and maybe you might learn a thing or two about them that you didn't know before this.
Yeah, definitely,
right? Do you understand me better?
Yes, I do.
I also understand. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, at the same time also jangan lupalah kita ni kat dunia ni sementara.
Wow, okay.
Apa yang kita boleh buat untuk menjalankan lagi pahala kita
Masya
lepas
Allah.
kita pergi daripada dunia yang
sedekah,
sementara
guys.
ini.
Sedekah. Jadi pahalanya berpanjangan, insyaAllah.
So don't forget to get your Sadaqah Jar. Okay, of course you can get it. You can get, I think tak salah 3.
You can get 3, yes.
3, and then you fill up every day. Make it $1 a day pun boleh. And then $1 a day, 30 hari, $30.
Yeah. For example, macam you get 3 of this Sadaqah Jar, and then you give it to one to your mom, one to your sister, and then you guys collect together. Then dah penuh, like you can actually call them to collect if you have a minimum of 3. They can actually come to your house to collect the Sadaqah Jars together.
Yes, definitely.
So if you want to collect your Sadaqah Jar, you can contact Muhammadiyah at 6242-7388. Or you can go to muhammadiyah.org.sg/wahdah.
Yes. Demi pula. Derma anda hari ini, demi saham hari esok.
Wow.
Yeah. Kucing ni.
So yeah, today that's it for today. We shall see you guys on the next episode, insyaAllah. Until then, take care, guys.
We've come to the end of another episode of Outside In.
If you love what you hear, please follow us on all our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify and YouTube.
Share it with all of your friends and family members so that they can benefit from this episode, insyaAllah. Jangan lupa Sadaqah Jar. Till next time, Assalamualaikum.
Bye.